Ever wonder why the ocean is vastly unexplored despite our attempts?
That is amazing.
Deep in the depths lie secrets so terrible they'd shake us to our cores.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And although many refuse to venture into the waves, today we're revealing the most disturbing things found in our oceans.
Oh, wow!
The Mariana Trench is a deep well of unknown mysteries, but this one takes the cake. While on an exploration mission, a submarine camera discovered a bizarre sight. It was the carcass of a giant ancient creature. Well, at least I am hoping it was ancient, because its head resembled a T-Rex, but that opens a new Pandora box of questions. If it was a T-Rex, what kind of a monster pulled it down here? And if it wasn't a T-Rex, then what kind of beast was this when alive? Personally, I don't even want to find out. Chance treasure. The oceans of the world are full of riches, and we have barely scratched the surface. While diving off the coast of Sweden, some divers found a treasure they did not seek. It was a figurehead from a 15th century ship, and they found it in the Baltic Sea. One can only wonder and imagine what other treasures might be lying on the ocean floor out there. Who knows, there might be a ship with hordes of gold and silver coins like in pirate movies. Smiling Ningen. 6 years ago, an anonymous user posted a freaky video on the internet. It was allegedly stolen from the Japanese agency. The agency had spotted a humanoid creature near their northern shores, but had kept the info under wraps. The creature could be seen with bright eyes and a knowing smile. Netizens allege that it was a Ningen. The Ningen is a Japanese sea monster that is said to live in the oceans of Antarctica and southern Asia. It is described as having a human-like face and other human features, but its exact appearance varies. Cryptic tomb. Sabah, Malaysia is an island full of natural wonders, but deep beneath it lies a dark secret. It has an entrance to a maze of underwater caves, and in one of them is a tomb of lost turtles. These poor creatures went into the caves looking for food maybe, but never managed to make it out. The mystery is that turtles are one of the best navigators of the oceans, and can hold their breath for over 7 hours. So how come they lost their way here? Now, if it was one turtle, that would have been fine, but there are dozens of turtle skeletons lying in those caves, and no one has figured out why. A weird berg. The mysteries of the oceans don't just lie in the deep, they are on the surface as well. In 2023, a tourist to Norway captured this amazing sight. It was an iceberg, but looked different. Instead of the regular muddy white color, it had a crystallized blue color.
¡Qué espectáculo!
And it was swirling and twirling in the ocean, sending waves to the shore. But netizens had other theories about the spectacle. They said that something unknown was disturbing the iceberg from below, and was probably playing with it. Let's hope that is not true, because we really don't want to know the identity of such a huge creature that can play with icebergs as if it were just a football. The bloop. In 2022, a helicopter flying over the ocean near the Caribbean islands spotted a mysterious creature swimming under the surface. It was shaped like a whale, but twice its size. However, its wide eyes and giant mouth set it apart from ordinary whales. Based on its direction, it was drifting towards the Caribbean islands themselves. Thankfully, no incident was reported from the islands involving this creature. Netizens identified this creature as the bloop, and this bloop isn't the loud sound that was detected by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in 1997. It is an actual creature that was thought to be extinct, but looks like it has re-emerged in recent times. Frilled shark. Frilled sharks are a unique species of shark that have 6 gills instead of 5. They haven't changed much from their prehistoric ancestors and are thus known as living fossils. They are rarely sighted because they are normally 5,000 feet under the ocean surface. That's why when a couple of divers caught a frill share near Japan 18 years ago, the news was broadcasted on CNN. And what you are seeing here is probably the only clear sighting of the creature. The shark was extremely old and frail. It was taken to the Awashima Marine Park for observation, but it passed away within hours. ET Observer. When water level fell in a lake in Louisiana one day, it revealed more than just the shore. In 2022, a visitor to the lake on that day witnessed a bizarre object in the water. It was a silver-colored pyramid, and it had never been seen or observed there before. Now it couldn't be an actual pyramid, or it would have been discovered just ago by passing ships. My guess is that it was an alien spaceship that was hiding under the surface of the water, and the alien pilot had probably gone out for exploration when the water level went down, probably why the ship was gone the next day when people went there to recheck. Pondulus hunter.
100 million years.
Nigel Marvin is a sea diver who thinks sharks are cute and makes videos with them. But one day in 2014, while he was readying for the sharks, something else came in their place. It was a Symbospondylus, and of all the possible creatures that Nigel expected to appear, this wasn't even on the list. Silent and foreboding, the creature approached Nigel with sinister intentions. But Nigel controlled his nerves and dealt with it the way he would with any ordinary shark.
That lunge at me, that was a warning shot. That's really up.
The Symbospondylus came at him a few times, but he used his little stick expertly to ward it away. And he is wondering till date why a 250 million year old monster has suddenly reappeared in our world.
With one lash of that tail, they can have really great bursts of speed.
Boeing shark.
Oh, wow!
In 2019, a group of scientists made history when they tagged a marine animal using a submarine. And it wasn't just any animal, it was the blunt-nosed 6-gill shark. This elusive shark lives in deep waters and hunts there too.
That is amazing.
It predates the dinosaurs and is one of the apex predators of the oceans. Check out how the shark observes the scientists in the glass submarine. The way it opens its eyes and looks at them is just electrifying. Its length can reach up to 20 feet, but from this angle, it looks like a Boeing 747.
Wow, look at the size. I mean, this female, she's definitely bigger than this.
Australian mermaid. Coral reefs are known to house various kinds of fish, but looks like this reef in Australia had something more. When a diver was recording it 17 years ago, he discovered an unexpected creature there. It was a mermaid that was swimming serenely in the water. Now, before you think it was a human being wearing a suit, observe how the arms of the mermaid are pointed downwards, and the mermaid is using just its tail to move forward in the water. If it had been a human, they wouldn't have been able to move forward without using their hands. Netizens pointed out the same thing too. Case closed. Last stream. If you normally don't have nightmares, I believe you will have after this. In 2024, a deep sea diver was streaming a video to his crewmates on their ship. Their plan was to explore marine life a few miles short of the Bermuda Triangle. The diver knew that it could be dangerous, but he wasn't expecting it to be this dangerous. After a few minutes of capturing nothing, a weird giant fish approached him. It had the face of a human being instead of a normal fish. And when it opened its mouth and its dozen eyes, it was menacing. Those teeth were like thin spikes. And that was the last of the diver's stream. Endless skeleton. In 2021, a casual swimmer found a bizarre object on the ocean floor off the coast of Florida. So he brought an underwater camera the next day. It was a skeleton, alright, but it didn't belong to any known marine animal. It was bigger than the biggest whale ever seen, and the skeleton was incomplete too. It looked like the real tail end of the skeleton was missing too, and a lot of the front portion and the skull was nowhere to be seen as well. Looks like it was the skeleton of a prehistoric animal. Plastic sea creature. In 2019, a pair of divers off the coast of New Zealand discovered a bizarre sea creature. It looked like a 30-feet giant plastic bag at first, but when the divers approached nearer, it felt their presence and began swimming away. What even was it? No one had any clue when the video was uploaded on social media, and the divers couldn't gather more information either. It could be a distant relative of a jellyfish, but that is as far as my guesses can go. Kraken sighted. It was a normal day for a few sailors in the North Sea in 2019 while they were cruising in their cargo ship until a storm hit. It wasn't anything that I had never seen before, but that was about to change. One of the sailors spotted a mysterious sight in the distance. Giant tentacles were coming out of the sea and waving around. Now, it definitely wasn't an octopus or a squid, as they are not known to exhibit such behavior. But experts on the internet said that it was the Kraken, and let's hope it doesn't make its way towards our ships. Uninvited guest. An Irish citizen was going to the beach for a swim one fine Sunday in 2024. It was his weekly routine, and he was looking forward to enjoying his weekend. But as he prepared to plunge into the sea, with his knees already bent, he saw something that made him do a double take. A basking shark had already occupied his favorite spot, and was swimming serenely in the clear water. It is as if the creature was waiting for the swimmer to jump, but the swimmer knew better now, and just sat down to make this video. The Leviathan.
Oh my, we hit some iceberg.
While sailing on a cruise ship in 2020, a few travelers witnessed a scary spectacle. A huge creature just went by the ship. It had huge scales and a Godzilla-like skin color. Its scales seemed to be as hard as iron, but thankfully it didn't brush the ship hard.
Oh my god, oh my god.
However, netizens were divided over the reality of the being. Some said it was just an iceberg, while others stated that it was a leviathan that has been living in the seas for ages. Regardless of what the truth is, it definitely was a terrifying sight. Mariana UFO. Well, as if we didn't have enough problems in the Mariana Trench, but to add an alien one is just stretching the issue even further. In 2023, a submersible camera found an extremely impossible object in Mariana Trench. It was a UFO, and by the looks of it, it had been sitting there for many years now. UFO crashes haven't been unheard of, but to have one right in the middle of Mariana Trench is something else. Marine alien. On March 6th, marine geologist Dr. Torsten Schmidt went into a submersible for research purposes. His mission was to observe the ocean floor only and collect samples of soils. However, he was forced to cancel his expedition because of this. A webbed hand appeared on the glass shield of his sub, and that had the biologists going nuts. Schmidt said the being that looked back at him was an intelligent species like human beings. Another expert identified as a mermaid-type creature that had alien-like characteristics. Floating gold.
Guys, ini ada jauh ke.
In 2023, a poor Indonesian fisherman became a millionaire overnight. He had found treasure of a different kind. While he was fishing off the coast of Taliabu Island, he spotted a floating mass of something white in the distance. When he went close to it, he nearly fainted by the discovery. It was ambergris, and it is extremely valuable. 1 kilo of this stuff sells for at least $1 million. It is formed in the stomachs of sperm whales, and it comes out only when they vomit it. So imagine the odds of finding such a thing in a wide ocean. The OceanGate. On June 18th, 2023, tragedy happened in an unlikely manner. 5 passengers were traveling in a submersible to watch the wreckage of the Titanic. 2 of these had specifically come all the way from the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, because of unknown reasons, the submersible and all its passengers were lost in the ocean. The US Coast Guard went down there to examine the situation, but they only found one half of the submersible. This is a video of that exploratory mission, and it's as somber as we remember. Ocean wrecks. Last time I checked, the T-Rex was supposed to be a land creature, and also extinct, but there it was, floating off the coast in Thailand, pretty alive. A sailor spotted in 2023 near his ship while they were leaving the dock. He sent a message to the dock immediately, but the Rex wasn't spotted by anyone in the dock. Maybe the Rex decided to change course before hitting the dock. It is possible it spotted a meal somewhere in the sea. Netizens were skeptical about the whole thing and called it AI, but the way the ocean was making waves around the Rex was too hard to ignore. The apex predator. Looks like this is what stopped NASA from exploring the Atlantic Ocean. When the Navy's sonar detected an unusual body in the ocean, they thought it was a new enemy submarine, so they placed a trail cam underwater and hid it in an old wreckage to collect evidence. However, what they discovered made them realize it was a matter for a different department altogether. It was a mosasaurus, and it was supposed to have been extinct 66 million years ago. And from which cave did this one crawl out from? No one has any idea, but the once apex predator of the ocean is back. Mysterious orb.
Soft thermal air, okay.
A year ago, scientists exploring the ocean floor near Alaska found a mysterious object. They were using a remote-controlled submarine when they suddenly spotted an orb that didn't seem to belong there. It was a golden-colored orb. They didn't know what to make of it, and when they tried touching it with the sub's robotic arm, it just broke like a mushroom would. One of them thought it was an egg of some kind, but eggs don't have such soft, spongy shells. And if scientists are at a loss to explain what it was, then who am I to say anything about it? Let's just hope it wasn't an extraterrestrial object of some kind.
If I try to grab it?
It seems like it. It seems pretty delicate.
Mystery holes. The ocean is a bizarre place in and of itself. There are many mysterious creatures that we are just discovering. It is as if the ocean belongs to aliens when compared with terrestrial animals, but in 2023, scientists added another mystery to the books. They found perfectly aligned holes on the ocean floor in the mid-Atlantic Ocean. They were so perfect, it is as if someone made them using geometrical instruments, and you can add it to the I guess we'll never know list. Alien City.
That looks like the cruise ship flipped over and it's shaped as a fish.
In 2020, two friends spotted a strange object far away in the sea. There is no way to describe it, but it looked like a huge bottle-shaped ship, and it looked like there was something inside. A netizen made a wild revelation on this video. She said she had seen this thing above land too, and there was a city inside it. She added that there were whole skyscrapers inside. It is possible that it was an alien craft of some kind that was able to accommodate a whole city inside it using space warping technology. However, other netizens were skeptical and called it a fata morgana, which is a mirage. What do you guys think it was?
Lights. It could be. Is this some type of an illusion?
The brinicle. In 2012, Catherine Jeffs, a documentary producer, went to Antarctica to film the underwater world for a series. When the camera team went down there through a hole, they discovered something unexpected. They found some brinicles forming down below. These rare phenomena are composed of extremely concentrated salt water that is ejected by the freezing ice sheet above. The clip that you are about to see is a time-lapse video of 8 hours. When the brinicle touched the ocean floor, it froze everything that came in its path. A truly rare sight captured by Catherine and her team, and a teaser of what all can go wrong if you are at the wrong spot at the wrong time. Ailing vultures.
Oh my God.
In 2023, a couple of fishermen witnessed a bizarre sight in the Gulf of Mexico. There were dozens of vultures lying splattered on the water surface. They were unable to fly because of some reason, so the fishermen collected them all on their boat and then freed them on land. What could have even done this?
Hey, lucky it's man.
Netizens put forth quite a few theories. Some said they must have fed on a poisonous carcass in the ocean, while others blamed HAARP technology for this. According to them, the birds reacted badly to some wavelength by the tech, but we will never know for sure what caused this.
Y'all just fell from the sky. We saved what we could.
Electric legs. There are creatures in the world who have 8 legs, some even have 100, but this creature defies all the laws of biology, and what it does is supposed to be impossible. This clip was uploaded by an anonymous user in 2022. Where and how he found this creature is still a mystery. It was made from a jelly-like substance, and it didn't expand and retract legs like a turtle, but created and vanished them at will, and it did so from random spots of its body. It is as if its legs were made from static electricity. It was a small creature, and I will let you imagine for yourself what all it can do with its abilities. Freshwater mermaid. While having a picnic near a freshwater lake in Louisiana, a netizen may have made the discovery of his life. A tail was flashing and swirling in the lake, but it wasn't any ordinary lake, nor did it belong to any ordinary fish. It had scales and was polychromatic. When netizens saw the video, they cried in unison that it was a mermaid. Now it is rare to find a mermaid in freshwater lakes, but it hasn't been unheard of. What do you guys think it was? Mariana Snailfish. The pressure in the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is 16,000 pounds per square inch. A human being can't survive beyond 1,400 pounds per square inch pressure. And yet this fish is swimming there as if taking a walk in a park. The fish is a completely unknown variety of snailfish with a translucent body, broad wing-like fins, and an eel-like tail. Its pristine white color is just majestic, but its head looked very human-like. It was recorded in 2015 by an international team aboard Schmidt Ocean Institute's research vessel Falkor. The impossible spotting. Below the surface of the sea swims a creature with eyes as big as dinner plates and a body nearly 60 feet long. Though they're some of the largest animals on the planet and legends of their tentacles have circulated for millennia, no one had ever really seen the giant squid in action. That is, until these scientists deployed their ingenious technology into the deep. 5 years ago, Dr. Nathan Robinson did the impossible. He, along with Edie Wedder, deployed a deep sea camera just outside of the Gulf Coast. And as luck would be, they were able to spot a giant squid. Sea creepers. We should feel lucky that this creature lives underwater only. Now, spotted in 2016 in the waters of Antarctica, these species of spiders will remind you of Halloween. These creepy crawlers can grow to 3 feet long with a leg span of 1 foot. They might not be venomous, but their hunting method will remind you of aliens. Sea spiders use their proboscis to puncture their prey's skin and suck out their guts. And given how thin they are and how slow they move without making any noise in the water, their prey doesn't realize their presence until it's too late. The Atlantean. While visiting the Sea Life Minnesota Aquarium in 2022, a family spotted more than what they bargained for. The young boy in the family found something in his view and began pointing at it, but none of the others could see what it was. Suddenly, an alien with a webbed hand appeared in front of the boy. They touched their hands from behind the glass. It is as if they understood each other on some level. But what if this alien was actually an underwater being from our oceans that we have just recently discovered? Or maybe it was a fishman from Atlantis. Now that is definitely something to wonder about.
Get away from the window.
Mesmerizing discovery. The seas of the world are full of wonderful creatures too, and that fact alone keeps pulling human beings back to it. While fishing off the coast of Florida in 2024, a fisherman caught one such wonderful fish. Its silver-colored skin reflected light as if itself was a mirror. It was long, elegant, and definitely a rare breed, and it was a relief to see an amazing sea creature above the surface of the water too. Or else, who knows, you dive deep enough and you find its 20 feet carnivorous counterpart there. Blob jellyfish. In 2023, a deep-sea submersible camera captured an amazing creature. It looked like a jellyfish but was bigger, and here's the interesting part, it was able to stretch and elongate itself as well. Netizens were at a loss to identify this mysterious creature. However, a marine biologist soon helped the social media out. He identified it as a Deepsteria enigmatica, and it dwells in the deep sea away from sunlight. It is a rare creature, and even rare is the fact that we got to see it. Nifty hunters. While exploring the Davidson Seamount located off of the California coast, researchers of the Nautilus expedition discovered a fascinating and creepy sight. A 5-meter long whale carcass was lying on the ocean bed, and a whole party of different kinds of fish was feasting on it. Among them were baby octopuses as well, but octopuses feed on fresh food only, so what were they even doing there? A cephalopod specialist in the comments pointed out that basically these octopuses were sitting there in ambush waiting for fresh fish that was coming to feed on the carcass. In other words, these tactical hunters had placed themselves in a strategic position for the best benefits. Pretty nifty. Mysterious sea creature. On the coast of South Florida, a couple captured a mysterious sea creature. It was 20 feet long, was as thick as a tree trunk, and had scales too. Now there are no pythons or anacondas known to mankind living in oceans or seas. And the sea serpent that human beings know about is just a long 5-foot fish. What then was there under the water? It was coiled menacingly and had an eerie color as well. I would have said that it was a Loch Ness monster, but they aren't known to be so dexterous. So I guess this is just a big mystery.
Go! I don't know what that is, babe. Just hold on.
Eyed tentacle. Nine years ago, a family cruising on a ship witnessed an extremely spooky creature off the coast of Florida. It looked like a slithery creature that was either coiled or it just had a hump that was visible. The creature was stalking the ship because in one instant, the creature pushed out the end of a tentacle out of the water and almost immediately pulled it back. Was that its eye? Because that is exactly what it looked like the way it pulled it back. But how that raises another question. How many creatures do we know of that have an eye at the end of a tentacle? And that is what I call a hair-raising revelation. Weird snout. A bizarre being was sighted in the sea off the coast of British Columbia just recently. It had only brought its snout out to breathe, so most couldn't recognize it. Some did think it was a sea lion, but its appearance suggested otherwise. It clearly wasn't from this planet. What was this thing, they wondered? Was it another interdimensional being or an alien that liked the waters of the earth? Or was it a secret creature from the depths of the ocean that we have yet to discover? I wouldn't stick around to find out. Sea giants encounter. In 2023, the Coast Guard detected a strange creature off the coast of Florida. The sonar said that it was huge, so they sent a group of helicopters to follow it. Once they reached it, they realized that it was a giant bloop. They followed it for some times before, but concluded that the bloop wasn't headed towards any population centers. They began heading home, but as they turned, they realized something terrifying. An even bigger creature was headed towards the bloop. It is as if a fight between these two giant monsters was about to go down. However, they couldn't gather any more info as they had to turn back because of low fuel. Tower over tower. There is always a bigger fish, as was found by this unlucky diver one day in 2023. As he was swimming in the deep sea, a monster appeared behind him. And it towered over him. And as he was taking in the terrifying sight, another monster appeared that towered over the original monster. We don't have further info about what happened over there, but netizens also called it an AI-generated video, and what do you think about it? Was it real or not? Dancing snakes. In 2024, an exploration party sent a submarine camera down into the deep sea. Their purpose was to discover unknown creatures on the ocean floor, and they got exactly what they were looking for. From far off, they looked like weeds. But when the camera got nearer, it made an astounding revelation. They were forms of snakes. They were anchored into the ocean floor and floating around with the waves as if dancing to its tunes. What even were these? Well, no one knows, as this was a first discovery of a kind. Pawed eel. While diving near a beach in Florida, a marine biologist caught a weird creature in his hand. It looked like an eel, but with the difference that it had 2 paws as well. Most of social media went crazy figuring out its identity once this video was uploaded on the internet. No one had any clue. The creature didn't look dangerous in any way either, but its existence itself is extremely surprising. Some even wonder if it's a dinosaur made up in a secret lab somewhere. Open discussion. Why? Oh, why do these adventurous divers need to go into underwater caves? But to find freaky monsters is crossing a line. It is as if 8-legged spiders weren't enough for them, so they had to go and find one with 12 legs. They found it in a cavern in the Atlantic Ocean, but maybe I am wrong and it had 14 legs. Please do count and let me know how many there were. But now I will have nightmares for sure. And I am sure you will too.